Russia, a vast and enigmatic land that stretches across two continents, Europe and Asia, making it the largest country in the world by area. A name that makes you think of huge lands and tough people. From the bustling cities to the remote villages, Russia is a country of contrasts and diversity. It's a place of extremes, from super cold winters to fiery volcanoes. The Siberian winter can be harsh and unforgiving, with temperatures dropping to unimaginable lows, while the Kamchatka Peninsula is home to some of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's a place with a long history and a lively culture, where old ways meet new ideas. The architecture tells stories of past empires, and the festivals celebrate a rich cultural heritage that has been passed down through generations. Come with me as we explore this amazing country, checking out its coolest spots and uncovering the secrets hidden in its frozen heart. From the iconic Red Square in Moscow to the serene beauty of Lake Baikal, there's so much to see and experience. We'll go to Siberia, a land of stark beauty and tough people. Here, the landscape is both breathtaking and intimidating, and the people have adapted to survive in one of the harshest climates on Earth. We'll see the marks of its past, etched in the land, and the stories of its people. The ancient traditions and folklore are still very much alive, offering a glimpse into a world that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. From the coldest place people live on Earth to the vibrant cultures of its native people, Oymyakon, known as the Pole of Cold, is a testament to human resilience, while the indigenous tribes of Siberia showcase a rich tapestry of cultural diversity. Russia shows us a world that's both familiar and strange. The bustling life of Moscow contrasts sharply with the tranquil rural areas, yet both are integral parts of the Russian identity. Get ready to be amazed by how strong life is, the power of tradition, and the breathtaking beauty of a land shaped by extremes. Let's get started. From the majestic Ural Mountains to the vast steppes, Russia's natural beauty is unparalleled. Join us on this journey to discover the heart and soul of this incredible country. Deep in the Siberian wilderness is Oymyakon, a village called the Pole of Cold. This remote settlement is one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth, where winter temperatures can plummet to unimaginable lows. Here, it gets unbelievably cold, regularly hitting -50 degrees Celsius and sometimes even colder. The cold is so intense that it can freeze your eyelashes and turn your breath into ice crystals almost instantly. Living in Oymyakon shows how adaptable humans are. Despite the extreme conditions, the villagers have developed unique ways to cope with the cold. They wear layers upon layers of clothing, often made from animal fur, to keep warm. The air itself seems to crack with the cold. The sound of the frost is a constant reminder of the harsh environment, creating an eerie yet fascinating atmosphere. Every time you breathe out, you see a frosty cloud. This phenomenon is a daily occurrence, a visual testament to the freezing temperatures that dominate life here. Even the ground is frozen solid, locked in permafrost that goes down super deep. The permafrost affects everything, from building structures to growing food. But life goes on. Kids go to school, bundled in tons of fur and wool. Their journey to school is a daily adventure, braving the cold with resilience and determination. Families sit around warm fires, telling stories and laughing. The warmth of the fire is not just physical but also emotional, bringing people together in a shared experience of survival and community. And get this, babies are briefly put in the extreme cold because people believe it makes their immune system stronger. This practice, though surprising to outsiders, is a testament to the community's unique approach to health and well-being. It shows how tough humans are, adapting and thriving in even the harshest places. The people of Oymyakon are a living example of human resilience, finding ways to not just survive, but to thrive in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. Russia is huge, and it has tons of different landscapes. From the frozen Arctic tundra in the north to the wide-open steppes in the south, the country unfolds like a beautiful tapestry. Each area has its own unique beauty and amazing nature. Travel across the huge expanse of Siberia, where forests of evergreen trees called taiga stretch as far as you can see. See the amazing Siberian tiger, a symbol of strength, patrolling its snowy home. Go further south to the Caucasus Mountains, their peaks super high, home to many different plants and animals. Russia's landscapes show the power of nature, a mix of contrasts and harmonies that you'll never forget. You can see Russia's story in the faces of its people. Look closely, and you'll see echoes of a difficult past, one filled with both good times and bad times. One thing that stands out in Russia is that there are many more women than men. This is a sad reminder of the impact of past events, especially World War II, which killed many men. The war left a hole in many families, a hole that still affects society today. But through it all, the women of Russia have been incredibly strong, becoming the backbone of their communities and families. Their stories are part of the nation's story, a testament to the enduring spirit of Russia and its people. Siberia, a place often thought of as harsh and isolated, is also a place of amazing strength and resilience. The people there have learned to live with nature's extremes, their lives showing how adaptable humans are and the power of community. For centuries, people have braved Siberia's tough conditions, drawn by its vast resources and the hope of a simpler life. They have built communities despite the challenges, using their cleverness and teamwork to overcome the harsh environment. From the reindeer herders of the north to the farmers and fishermen, the people of Siberia show a spirit of endurance that is both humbling and inspiring. Their stories remind us that even when things are tough, the human spirit can thrive. The beauty of Siberia is undeniable. Its vast, snowy landscapes stretch as far as the eye can see, creating a serene and almost otherworldly atmosphere. The pristine white snow blankets the ground, reflecting the sunlight in a dazzling display. But beneath this tranquil exterior lies a much darker story, one that has been buried in the annals of history. This beauty hides a dark part of Russia's history, a history marked by suffering and oppression. The Soviet era left an indelible mark on this land, with its policies and practices leading to the establishment of numerous forced labor camps, known as gulags. Scattered across this huge region are the remains of gulags, remnants of a time when the Soviet government used these camps to imprison millions of people. These structures, now abandoned and decaying, stand as silent witnesses to the horrors that once took place here. These forced labor camps from the Soviet era were often located in remote and inhospitable areas, making escape nearly impossible. The harsh conditions of the Siberian wilderness added to the suffering of the prisoners, who were forced to work in brutal conditions. These camps, often in remote and harsh areas, became synonymous with suffering and oppression. The prisoners, many of whom were political dissidents or simply unfortunate individuals caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, endured unimaginable hardships. The gulags became known for their brutal conditions, where prisoners faced starvation, disease, and relentless labor. The cold, unforgiving climate of Siberia only added to their misery, making survival a daily struggle. Millions of people were sent to the gulags, accused of disagreeing with the government or simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. They suffered terribly, enduring harsh conditions and relentless labor. Many were accused of political crimes, often with little or no evidence. The Soviet regime used the gulags as a tool of repression, silencing dissent and instilling fear in the population. Others were simply caught in a bad situation, victims of the regime's paranoia and brutality. They suffered terribly, forced to work in brutal conditions, often facing starvation and disease. Forced to work in brutal conditions, the prisoners of the gulags faced unimaginable hardships. The relentless labor, combined with the harsh climate and lack of adequate food and medical care, made survival a daily struggle. Often facing starvation and disease, many prisoners did not survive their sentences. The gulags became a symbol of the Soviet regime's cruelty and disregard for human life. The memory of the gulags still affects Russia today. Memorials and museums have been established to honor the victims and educate future generations about this dark chapter in history. Their stories remind us of how cruel humans can be and how important it is to protect human rights. The suffering endured by the prisoners of the gulags serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and oppression. It is crucial to remember these stories and to advocate for justice and human rights. The lessons of the past must not be forgotten, lest we repeat the same mistakes. Yet even in these dark places there are stories of resilience. The human spirit, even in the face of unimaginable adversity, refused to be broken. There are stories of hope in the face of despair, of prisoners helping each other and finding ways to survive despite the odds. These stories of resilience and hope remind us of the strength of the human spirit. Even in the darkest of times there is always a glimmer of hope, and of the human spirit refusing to give up. The legacy of the gulags is a testament to both the cruelty of oppression and the resilience of those who endured it. In the far east of Russia near the Bering Strait is Chukotka, a land where old traditions live on in the harsh Arctic environment. Here, the native Chukchi people have lived in harmony with nature for centuries, their lives connected to the rhythms of the land and sea. Herding reindeer is still important to Chukchi culture, providing food, clothing and transportation across the vast tundra. Their nomadic lifestyle shows their deep connection with nature, their knowledge of the land passed down through many generations. The Chukchi people also have strong spiritual beliefs, honoring the spirits of the land, sea and animals. Their rituals and ceremonies show us a world where nature is not just something to use, but a source of deep wisdom and connection. No exploration of Russia's extremes would be complete without going to the Kamchatka Peninsula, a land where fire and ice meet in a spectacular show of natural power. Here, huge volcanoes rise from the earth, covered in snow and ice, while geysers erupt with steam and boiling water. Kamchatka is a great place for adventurers and nature lovers. Hike through forests filled with wildlife, see a volcano erupt, or relax in a natural hot spring. The peninsula is also home to lots of sea creatures, from whales and seals to many kinds of fish. Explore the underwater world, see the beautiful coral reefs, and watch these amazing creatures in their natural home. Russia is more than just a place to visit. It's a journey for your soul. It's a place that changes how you see things, awakens your senses, and stays with you long after you leave. From its icy wilderness to its lively cities, Russia invites you to embrace the unexpected, to learn about its complex history and culture, and to discover the strength of its people. As you travel across this land of extremes, let yourself be changed by its beauty, its resilience, and its sense of wonder. Because in the heart of Russia lies a story that tells us what it means to be human,